Hi everyone! So today we're going to be talking about our top 5 planning tips for before you leave to go on your holiday. So this is kind of everything up until the day you leave, really.
These are just some things to keep in mind that might make your holiday a bit easier or just give you a better time when you're out there.
So let's jump straight in at number 5, which is manage your expectations. Now I know this sounds like a bit of a weird one, but again, hear us out. What we mean by this is kind of don't go and expect to do absolutely everything, because it's not going to happen. It'll never happen. I've been loads of times now and I still haven't done everything. So to expect to do it on maybe your first trip or on a single trip is just not realistic at all.
We spent an entire 24 hours in the Magic Kingdom and it was still quite a bit of a push to get everything fit in. So one of our tips is to have everyone in your group pick one thing that you absolutely want to do and just make it a priority that everyone gets to do their one thing.
Because even if you have like a party of 6 or even 7, doing 7 things in a day isn't as crazy as trying to get everything in and do everything.
There's obviously, you're going to have some time left over to fill it out with the rest of things, but this way, no matter what your group size is, you've just got everything that you wanted to do done, and then you can do the other things. Now, our next tip is one that doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but it's to get up early and do your ADRs and fast passes. The time that they open here in the UK is really early in the morning, and it might seem like a bit of a drag to have to get up and do them, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, the sort of ADRs aren't as bad. It's usually 11 a.m. here, I think they go online or on the phone, I think you can ring, and then 11, 12, it's really not that early. The one to kind of worry about is your fast passes. Now, I think it usually is 5 a.m. over here, but when I did it, the clocks hadn't quite changed yet in America, so I had to get up at 4 a.m. And I'll tell you what, when your alarm goes off at 4 a.m, it's horrible, but the whole trip, we managed to go on every ride we wanted to, at the exact time we wanted to, and it took me 10 minutes to do it when I woke up, and I got everything. I got Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, got Toy Story Midway Mania, Soaring, anything I wanted we were able to get, and that really helped us out when we were out there, because it wasn't, you're spending all that money, what's 5 minutes?
I think we're going to do another video on what to prioritize in your fast passes, but definitely be aware that you might have to get up early to do them, but it's completely worth doing because you will just get absolute choice pick of when you want to do stuff in what order, and you're not going to be left with, we can only pick between these 2 times and we kind of had one thing to do for that time, so it'll have to be that one. You can just make the choice and do everything as you want to.
Okay, number 3 is a mistake that I've made quite a few times on our trip. It's wear comfortable shoes. I think every trip previous to the one we've just been on, I would wear sandals, flip-flops, fashionable shoes, if you will, that kind of looked really nice, but after a couple of hours, my feet were killing me. And I can remember very clearly, even a good 5 years later now, being stood waiting for the fireworks, the balls of my feet being on absolute fire, being like, I don't want to be here, this isn't fun, I just want to go put my feet in ice, and that is how I want to spend my evening. For this trip, I actually invested in a pair of Skechers Go Walks, which look like these. Again, not hugely fashionable, but oh my god, these are like walking on clouds. They saved my feet for the entire trip. Even the 24-hour event that we just mentioned, my feet didn't hurt once. I wasn't even bothered. I think it was when you said I need to sit down, my feet are hurt, and I was like, oh yeah, my feet literally, nothing, no blisters, no painful soles of my feet. They were amazing.
If you feel like you're going to be slightly self-conscious about not wearing the best shoes you can, don't be. When we were out there, those were literally the shoe of Disney. So many people had them, absolutely everywhere. You'd have just fit right in. It's crazy how popular these were. The other thing I would say is that if you do buy new shoes to go on holiday with, break them in. You do not want to go on holiday with untested stuff. And this goes for bags, shoes, even cameras, anything. You don't want the first time that you really get to know the thing be in the middle of a theme park in Florida. You want to know in advance whether you like it, whether it's comfortable, so break it in. Just get used to wearing it, wear them around the house, wear them to the shops, just be familiar with it before you go. Now, our next tip is something I could have definitely benefited from, and it's to just try and be a little bit more active before you go on holiday. You don't have to go nuts and go, really hard training and get really incredibly fit. You can if you want to, but what we mean is just instead of maybe taking that car ride to the shops, you maybe just walk there once in a while. I work at a desk in an office, and so standing up and being on my feet all day was quite a bit of a change for me. So even if I'd just done a bit more walking, just tried to be a little bit more active in the sort of months leading up to my trip, that would have been much more comfortable when I'm out there.
And our final tip, and I definitely think the most important, is make an itinerary, a rough guide of kind of what park or what you want to do each day. Start from sort of the travel day and kind of go through what's the first park you want to go to, what days do you want to have as rest days, is there any days that are set in stone that you've made reservations that you can't change, what meals are you going to, the times. It sounds like you're micro planning your holiday, which you kind of are, but it's amazing when you get to the park and you're like, oh, what do we need to do next? We've got a fast pass here, we've got a dinner reservation there. It's just so handy. And also, you can kind of look and see what you're doing the next day. If you know you're going to have a really, really busy day the next day, you can kind of take it easy a little bit the day before. It's kind of a really good way just to keep on top of it and not get so overwhelmed.
So we made an itinerary for our trip, and we didn't really change too much off of it, but it was really useful to have because you know what it's like when you're on holiday. You forget what day it is. You'll forget whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, whether it's the weekend. You just have no proper perception of time. So being able to see everything that you're supposed to be doing means you're just really less likely to forget anything. And that's kind of a big deal, especially if you've made reservations. You don't want to be charged for not turning up. You want to know exactly where you should be, where you have to be, but also what you've kind of got in mind.
So those are just our top 5 tips. I know there's loads of really useful tips and tricks out there to help you make the most of your holiday, but these are things that we always consider or look into before we go. And we had a fantastic trip last time, and I think these definitely helped. So we hope that we could share them with you, and then they'll be able to help you on your next trip.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.